COVID taught me something, man.
Yeah.
I think when investing, let's say when investing, you should invest in something no matter what happens. If you ever have another global lockdown, that your investment should be something that people really
can
need,
withstand,
man.
Really,
man.
Yeah, something that can withstand, the test of a shock.
Food, man, people always eat, man. People always eat.
People always eat. People always need housing.
Yeah,
we still need that shelter. So the basics are still there. Yeah,
that's that.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Make Money, the podcast. Today we have quite an interesting episode as we put a cap to our third season of the podcast. And just to set some context here, I received an email from one of the listeners of the podcast which inspired this episode, and I'll try go through it. And this is an email from someone with, my name. His name is Kepha Mkombola, and, I'll try read it word for word. So he says, I hope you are well. Even though you don't know me, I know you very well because of your articles on the Business Daily and the podcast that you host there. This podcast is the reason I'm writing to you, and a good friend of mine shared the first season of the podcast, which inspired me as a writer and co-owner of Muiruri East. So this is an East Africa hip-hop culture and arts blog, and he linked up with a colleague in Tanzania, a rapper and producer called Sela Ninja, to come up with a financial literacy inspired album na jina inaitwa Uchafushaji Elimu ya Fedha. So, and he shared some of those links to that the project he put out. And this really got me thinking about what lessons can we get from music, or what inspirations about money or music and money can we bring these two topics together, as much as they might seem reality on their end. And I'm happy to have this conversation and about what music teaches about money. Happy to introduce a guest who is also a friend of the podcast, being a listener. He breathes, he lives and breathes music as his stock of trade. And he's also a listener of this podcast, as I said earlier. So DJ Kyembo, welcome very much. Welcome to the podcast.
Okay, how are you doing, man?
I'm very well.
Good.
Yeah, happy to have you. I mean, you've been a listener of the podcast. You've shared some of your feedback.
Yes, man.
Somehow, music and our money conversations have linked up, and we have this episode.
Yeah, man. I feel good to be here, first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's chop it up, man. Let's talk about music and its impact, people's lives as well,
Yeah.
And the correlation between music and money.
Yeah. And first of all, before we even get to the conversation, it's good to introduce yourself. Someone listening, they don't know who's DJ Kyembo, what has he been doing, and why is he talking about money, from a music background, being a DJ, as your main trade.
Yes, I'm a DJ and I'm a businessman as well. I provide entertainment services to different clients, Mm-hmm. So I DJ for a living. It's a passion that I just turned it into a business. You have to turn your passion into a business. There's nothing good like doing work that you love. I'll be pressured to just go into it now. So money is just an outcome of what I of the passion. Of the passion. Yes. And I know as a DJ, I've tried my own thing with virtual DJ, just to entertain myself. But I know as a DJ, the most important thing in music is getting people moving. If you are playing at a wedding, it's a corporate event, it's an office event. They'll call you, for these gigs. Vibes, sometimes it's at the club. It's all about the vibes mostly when you come to music. Yeah, true.
But also music teaches about money. Looking at some of the songs, the wide listenership of music will give you a sense that there are also things, there are also learnings we can always pick out
from music, man.
Yeah. So my question here is, do you get the same sense that music is not just about the vibes? I know in terms of a DJ playlist and, people will want to see a mix, how do you shuffle in between tracks? Yes. Is the music connecting to the audiences? It's mostly about, getting people up, moving and dancing.
Setting the atmosphere, the tone and all that. But there's more to it, man. Mm-hmm. Music teaches, music influences people. Yeah, there's more to it. Music, there's more testimonials from people who said a certain artist changed their life. They've been listening to them, like growing up, they inspire them to get into music themselves.
Yeah.
So there's that. But I listen to a lot of Jay-Z, man.
Yes.
Jay-Z is a businessman. Like in most of his songs, he always talks about investments. be your own boss. But there's a song called No Hook from his album American Gangster, where he says, own your masters, man.
Yeah.
As a musician, as an upcoming artist, once you own your masters, you have more control, of the publishing and all that, And always, music has, how do I put it? There's a lot of ways of making money through music, like we just talked with your friend Pale akasema, you can just be a songwriter, you're behind the scenes, but you're just making money.
Yeah. Just as a songwriter.
As a songwriter, unajua.
Yeah.
You're just a good asset to the face of the song. For example, Drake, who can brandikia song, is the face, but you are working in the background, but you're a very big asset to that man.
True. And even for someone who's not an artist, coming to the lyrics, there's a lot of learnings you can still take. No matter what you are, you might be a driver, you might be an accountant somewhere, you might be a lawyer. There are still lessons that the lyrics give away that are of importance.
Yeah, man. These people, especially if you've been... Rick Ross, man, is another artist that people should listen to. Yeah. They drop gems through their songs. Yani, most of them, onjo come from the projects, so they always have this mindset of elevating,
Yeah.
Yes, it's a music is fun.
Yeah.
Entertaining people is fun, but there's more distraction to it. Cheza tu kidogo, you might end up miaka zinakuja unapata you didn't invest, you are just having fun because of... But I think people should... Music teaches people to invest. The likes of 50 Cent an example here, they turned their thing, something that they love into something lucrative, Yeah, so I think that's more like it. Like music has a very dope influence to people, business-wise and all that.
And in terms of getting the impact, in terms of the messaging, like you said, in a social setting, a lot of it is to entertain.
Yes.
So when do we sit down and re-listen to the message being put across? Like you said, Jay-Z is one of them, and we are about to just, break down one of his tracks and see how what lessons, we can learn from some of what he's put out. Is it when you're sitting alone that you get to internalize the messages to these songs? Because I know, again, in a social setting, in a club setting, in a wedding, maybe I just want to get up and dance to your mixes and not necessarily learn. So is it that you take time sometimes to listen music, to understand, to learn something? What do you make of it?
For me, I listen to music when... I live alone right now, so I listen to a lot of music when I'm cooking or when I'm just doing some house chores. That's when I really get to listen to the message. When you are in the club or at a party, it's more vibes. But if you are alone, it's more like, okay, let me listen to. But you'll find most people, the songs that they jump to in the clubs are not the same songs that they jump to when they are at home. When they're alone. When people are alone, they listen to more conscious music, man.
Yeah.
So, for me, a chilled out setting is the best setup for you to consume music, for you to understand the lyrics and all that.
All right. So I would like to get to some of the tracks. I think I had picked out about 2 for me. I think The Story of OJ by Jay-Z. And then there's Muga's this is from a long time ago. I don't know where you were in 2006, but this is Alikiba's Muga. Alikiba, that is from Tanzania. This is a bongo artist. So I'd like first to share some of the lyrics here on The Story of OJ, off the 444 album from 2017. And this is where, I feel like he contrasts regret about not making wise money decisions, but also showing the impact that he's had by, putting that money or whatever he's earned into use. And I think I would like to share some of the lyrics. I'll just read them out. I'll not sing here. But, there's a line he says, I bought every V12 engine and I wish I could take it back to the beginning. So that's one of them. And, and he goes on and says he could have bought a place called Dumbo, before it was what it is for like 2 million. And now the same building today is worth 25 million shillings. And he's, is asking the audience, guess how I'm feeling about that.
Dumbo.
Yeah, Dumbo. Yeah. Then we come to the next part now where artist he's now made some decisions, and you can have a feel of that by, he says, I bought some artwork for 1 million. 2 years later, it's worth 2 million. A few years later, it's now worth 8 million. And he really can't wait to leave the same artwork to his children. So, yeah, I do get a feeling of he's trying to contrast the regret of maybe his younger days when, all he did was to splash on cars and everything else. And then now him taking that conscious decision like, wow, I invested, this thing is quadrupling, this thing is compounding in value. It's holding value over time, and it's bringing so much. Then we go to Alikiba. This is from his debut album called Cinderella in 2006. I don't know whether you're in primary school. I was in primary school back then. It's a long time. And it's funny that this song, even you go to the YouTube comments, you still find people loving it and saying, wow, he really handed down some lessons to people. And this one is more of speaking to a pitfall of living a large life. You've made success, but you do not make good money decisions. And I think I'll try sample also before we get to the discussion of, what the learnings we can get from music from such artists. Okay. So I don't know whether it's a hook or a bridge here, but it's in Swahili, and he says, Mungusha Adhumani alipofika South Africa, alikuwa na maisha bomba, ya juu ya dhamani, tena yanayohitajika, magari makubwa na nyumba. Na sasa amerejea, hajui wapi ataanzia, hakuna kazi, so anashinda mchana kutwa hajafanya lolote, na anasema Alikiba anasema maisha aliyachezea. Kisha he says that people brought problems to him, and he sorted them with his money. Yeah. So in terms of looking at the two tracks and the messaging, this is just a sample. There's a lot we can always break down and bring. Do you get the sense of the same message that actually it's music, it's entertaining, it's good to listen to, but this is actually lessons here for free?
Man. Like I said earlier, man, there's more distractions to it, man. And I'll use an example. I'm a DJ, right?
Yeah.
So most of the time I'm around alcohol, the pangs, and all that. So I have to look at the future, man. But this year I've been just doing some life audit, doing some reflections. And I noticed, man, if you don't take your money when you have a chance, my bro, I don't know if you'll ever we're getting old, right? You don't want to get to 50 broke, man.
You don't.
So if your time is now, if you are making money now, invest it, because music alone, there's a time where it gets you'll stop. Actually, when the more you get older, you'll stop. Maybe you'll stop doing music. That's what. For this, I want to retire at age 40, man. I don't want to be DJing at age 40. So I want the money that I'm making now and the money that I'll be making in the future, in the maybe 10 years to come. I want to invest it maybe in real estate, maybe security firm or something, so that when I'm no longer doing music, I have something that I did invest in, that's now accumulated, I have this money that just comes in outside of music. So I'll just one thing you can learn from this is music is lucrative, and once you get to the point where the hottest thing, making music, or you're making money through it, just invest, man. Just invest. If you can go to that business school, or you have someone, most of the people who get into music, they don't have that financial financial education, or
the literacy is not there. The
financial literacy,
the business acumen to know you need to invest, and
100%. So they just make the money. There's no one to advise you,
do this. Nobody's telling you. It's your money, and you can't be told sometimes.
You do you. Plus the people who are surrounding you, it's more of party. So if you're alone in this life, man. As far as we have family and all that, if you make the wrong decisions, the wrong choices, you face the consequences, man, yourself. So just look at the future, and I want to, when I get old, or maybe I get to this certain age, I want to have at least good money that or some investment that will maybe create generational wealth, man.
Yeah, create a different source of income, like you said. You can't DJ forever and whatnot.
Man. See, Jay-Z, I don't know if Jay-Z has retired, but he no longer does music. You know?
Yeah. But
he has businesses. His Rock Nation is there, you know. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So basically, do you feel the same lessons can transition to anybody else, you know, listening to music and, you know, these are artists speaking into money matters and, you know, warning you that living large, you know, at the end of the day.
Is a good example.
Yeah.
Of if you waste your money, if you don't invest, this is how we're gonna go down.
Yeah, this is how you go down. Yeah. And I think it still inspires. I think I'm on a group where we were actually discussing the track Muga saying this song is from years ago. You know, we are talking close to 20 years ago, and it's still a hit, still inspiring, and still giving lessons. Yeah. So for you, perhaps I know I sampled Jay-Z's story of OJ and Muga from Alikiba. I don't know whether there is a track for you that really gets you. Which track for you would say, wow, I listen to that and it really inspires me on something money, you know, getting your money right and managing it.
No Hook, man, by Jay-Z.
Yeah.
That song, there's a part where saying it's done, like it's more like it's done being rich, you know, there's a curse word there, but you know, it's done being rich, let's get wealthy, you know.
Yeah.
You can get rich, but I think creating generational wealth is the thing for me, and I think most people know I want to leave something there for my people, you know. And I've been gifted enough with this passion of music. This is the only thing that I can do any best without feeling I'm being pushed on it. Like I give it my all. So if it brings me money, if I get money through it, why not invest it in some other stuff? Though Muga, that song, man.
Yeah, gives you a lot.
That's a good example, you know.
Yeah,
you get money, but if you get distracted, man, that's it, man.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes some people are lucky enough to be given second chances, but most people, they only get that one.
Only get that one chance, and you blow it, you're down, you're underwater from there on.
I remember Muga was like the diamond of that time, man.
Yeah, because it's inspired by an artist who, you know, made various missteps, and like, you know, everything went down for them.
At that 2006 Muga was in those age yake akifanya music. Teme nani antoje. I don't know if I always hear these rumors that songs
there's always a reference to Mr. Nice. It's always seen as a reference to how his career panned out, you know, performing abroad outside of Tanzania, but coming back home with
a point of correction. I said Muga. I meant to say Mr. Nice.
Yeah. Sure thing.
Mr. Nice was the big thing at that time. Alikuwa tu level like in a diamond, but he blew the money.
Came back home. There was nothing. People forget about you. You can no longer book the same amount of shows and so on. So it's a cautionary lesson on what happens when you don't manage your money. And I think you mentioned Jay-Z's track that inspires you. I think there's also another line that he says, I'll not use the exact words here again, like you said, there's a bit of cussing in there, but he says, there's no point of living rich and then dying broke,
man.
There's no point. There's no point to live, you know, this large life where, you know, you're living lavishly, but you'll never leave anything behind for either your family, your people,
just
or,
debts,
you know,
man.
Just debts. You're living liabilities instead of, you know, instead of serious money. So,
crazy,
I think we've really done well, you know, tackling, you know, the topic. And
but man,
for you,
investment, huh?
Sure thing. So I was just saying we've really done a good point at bringing out the impact, you know, music can have in terms of giving you lessons on, you know, financial literacy here and there, you know, lessons on money, lessons on risk. Like you say, Muga, cautionary tale of what happens when you don't take care of your money. Might you have any other tracks that, you know, you can touch on and say, wow, that one gives you a lesson, that one hands you something?
Sure. This song I listen to a lot of Jay-Z, like I said.
Yeah.
Because he's a good example for someone who came from the project, then he made a few mistakes, then he came to his mind, realized, like, you know, then he started to, you know, this thing, we're getting old, we have families now, what will we leave behind after we've gone? So I think some people age also is wafanya wa think about the more na age unaanza not many people but some wanaanza kuona okay now we're not young and we're not young no tena we're growing
the same powers used to have before
plus generations na change, people consuming music different size. That's why see for example 50 Cent, I don't know if size I can drop music in as a blow. We have a different generation.
We have a very different generation. Some might not even have known him.
Yeah, man.
Yet he put the money he got off his music to launch all these brands, all these companies. He has
now
stakes
into movies, Yeah. See, so there's that. I think age pia inafanya watu wanafunguka akili pia unaona okay. Yeah. Sawa.
Right.
Getting old, let's invest in something
let's
different.
Invest, let's have a different, income stream.
Alafu pia COVID taught me something, man.
Yeah.
I think when investing, let's say when investing, you should invest in something no matter what happens. If you ever have another global lockdown, that your investment should be something that people really
can
need,
withstand.
Man. Yeah, man.
Yeah, something that can withstand. The test of a shock.
Food, man. People always eat, man. People always eat.
People always eat. People always need housing.
Yeah,
we still need that shelter, so the basics are still there.
Rentals, man. Yeah, that's that, man.
Great. So, DJ Kyembo, I think to put a wrap to this conversation, I think I would like to come back to yourself and, ask someone, who's listened to you, seen the pointers that you have and, your outlook to life and music and everything. Where can people find your work as we put it to a wrap?
Okay, DJ Kyembo official. Just Google me. There's a lot that will come up. There's YouTube, I drop a lot of stuff on YouTube. I have this Google business page where I upload some of the gigs that I've done, testimonials and all that. Plus, I also have this event that I'm working on, the Optimum Party, which is just a music event where we just want to give people a fun escape.
Yeah.
It's more like just giving you a place where you can just escape your daily grind, but in a fun way. And at the same time, you just want to impact lives. Because in days to come, in the future, we'll be donating some of our proceeds to people who are facing food insecurity, Yeah, that's just the Optimum Party is just me merging my passion of DJing into something that will really impact.
To create the impact,
Yeah, man. Yeah, so that's more like it, man. DJ Kyembo, the Optimum Party. Let's go, man.
All right. Yes. Thanks a lot for being on the podcast. You've been a listener of the podcast. Now you've gotten to be a contributor, and we'd like to thank you so much for coming through and trying to connect. These are very two distinct subjects, money and music.
Yes.
But I do feel we've made our best attempt at, bringing those two topics together.
Yeah, man. But people should listen to more conscious music. Music that teaches you. Not only money, but I think just
other life issues. There's quite a lot. There's quite a lot.
DMX sang about health issues, mental health and all that. So music really touches.
Really teaches. Yeah, it's not just entertainment, like you said. It's not just about the vibes and getting down to the beat.
Yeah, man.
Sure thing.
Should impact, man. Music impact.
All right.
Just have to, yeah, man.
All right. Thanks so much for coming through. And we look forward to, whenever we have a link between what you do and what we do, we'll always be happy to collaborate. So thank you. Yeah, appreciate.
Yeah, when you called, man, I was just like, yo, Kepha, for you, man, I just have to create time.
Yeah, sure thing. Yeah, and it's been a beautiful conversation around the lessons one can learn from money. I think you brought out some of the points. I've tried to also do my best, but I needed someone in the music to put everything together and put a different perspective to it. So appreciated.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Thank you.
So much.
Yeah, and that has been DJ Kyembo and another episode of Make Money the Podcast. This has been the third season of Make Money the Podcast. We hope to see you very soon. And to anybody listening from Tanzania, tunasema shukran sana. Ukiwa Mwanza, ukiwa Arusha, ukiwa Dodoma ama uko Dar, tunashukuru sana kuungana na Make Money the Podcast msimu huu wa 3, na tunatarajia kukupa zaidi kutoka mazungumzo yetu hapa kuhusu hela hivi karibuni. Shukran.